Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Salma, and today I am going to present my film review on the movie entitled Pusaka, released in 2019. To begin with, I'm going to begin with a little bit of the synopsis about the film. The film Pusaka tells a story about a young detective known as Inspector Noir, investigating a mystery case about a set of twin girls who were found locked inside an abandoned house. Coincidentally, Inspector Noir also has a twin sister, and inside the story, she was considered ill, and he has to take care of her too. So the story begins with an emergency call from someone who noticed that there's a dead body inside an abandoned house. So when Inspector was arrived at that house, he found out there are two girls. One was dead, one was found dead, and the other one was found tied up. So, knowing the fact that the other twins were tied up, he collected the body and the life was rushed to the hospital. So after the postmortem, he found out that the name of the twins was Balkis and Christina, and the one who is survived is Balkis. However, Christina was found dead. So knowing that the fact that a girl tied up in an abandoned house was quite a mystery, so the cases was open, investigating about the twin girls. So when the case was open, things started to get a little bit creepy, and also terrified things started to happen. So starting with the clue given by Bakis, which she actually vomits and it came out from her through a, a vomit of blood, and also whoever pictures in the clue or whoever pictures that comes out is actually the next victim to be killed. So soon after all the investigation, Inspector Noir concluded that everything has to do within the inheritance of the family. When there's a little mystery going on within the twins family. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the character of the movie. From the character, I think the most significant character, like every character does contribute something. Every character does presented something important in the play. But for me, the most significant or the main character would be Inspector Noir. So Inspector Noir, played by Shafiq Kyle, really does portray a very devoted police officer, a very hardworking, a very dedicated police officer or inspector in solving the mystery. However, in the play, he kind of neglected, due to his duty, he kind of neglected his sister. So coming back to his sister, so his sister is a drug addict. It's quite irony, knowing the fact that you had a brother as a police officer and at the same time had a twin as a drug addict. It's quite irony for me. So her sister is a drug addict, undergo a healing process, a rehab, at the rehabilitation center, if I'm not mistaken. The mini as pusat pemulihan. So his sister was undergo a healing process there, and sometimes due to duties, her brother cannot visit her quite often. I remember a scene in the play. There was an event at her sister's place, and it was encouraged to invite a family or relatives, but her brother couldn't welcome her invitation due to his duty. So it's quite sad. So knowing the fact that we can see Inspector Noor was really devoted to her job, to the fact that he kind of neglected her sister. Sorry, I forgot to mention that the name of Inspector Noor sister, a twin, is Noor. So Noor and Anwar was a set of twins. So yeah. Another main character, the character that contributes to this film the most would be the character of Balkis and also Christina, played by Sweet Kismina. So along the movie, we can't really see Christina's face because when she was found dead, the body was kind of rotting. So um, the face was really if you can see the face, the rotting face of of a dead body, just like in the previous slide, that was the face of Christina during that time. So I think if Christina was alive, it could be just another pair of Sweet Kismina. So from the play, we can see that Sweet Kismina or Bakis really, I think she really shows a very a realistic teenage girls mentally problem or I mean she shows she has a lot of problematic behavior in sense of yeah she was locked there for an hour, and also she kind of shows a very a terrified visual where she was vomiting blood. She was, you know what, kind of being possessed in somehow, and she really shows that in a realistically. So I think Sweet Kismina really does brings the character to life. So, moving on, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the themes of the play that I discovered. So I discovered there are two themes for this play. So the first one would be inheritance. So, looking into the title itself, PUSAKA are usually synonyms formally as inheritance. So, when it comes to inheritance, it doesn't have to be inheritance of fortune. So, for this story, it looks like that it's not only about the inheritance of fortune, but also the inheritance of something else. So, first of all, according to the storyline, it it mentions or it portrays the conflict of in dividing the fortune. So it happens between the Christina and Balkis family. So the father was rich, so he left thousands of fortune, rich people. But unfortunately, before he died, he didn't leave a will. So according to the Islamic system, the wife gets about 1/8 part of the fortune, and the rest is to the father's family. So according to the story, the mother or opah wanted the fortune by himself, wanted the fortune to herself. So that was the reason why she locked Christina and Balkis at the abandoned house after their mother died. But it turns out that the inheritance of this story is not only about the fortune, but it also the inheritance of something else. So I don't know. According to most people who keep things like ghost, jinn, or something like that, usually, or I heard a story that when you keep a gene, when you die, it will be passed on to your daughter or son. It will pass on to your children because it cannot live without an owner. So when the fathers died, so the fathers actually had keep something, keep a gene or keep a ghost, contributing to the fact that is why his business was a success. So when he died, the ghost, I don't know what his name, but the gene is actually being passed on to her daughter. So that is why I think I concluded, or in my opinion, uh, this movie is mainly about inheritance, because of not only about the fortune but also about that thing as well. So the second theme will be the acceptance. So I'm gonna talk about this in a bit Islamic perspective because in the movie, we can see that Inspector Anwar doesn't actually believe in the unseen things. It means like he really deny the existence of those things, even though a lot of tragedy, a lot of mystical elements happen to him. Mystical elements happen to him, but he kind of doesn't believe it. But I don't know. Probably to the fact that at first he always mentioned that this is a human fault. So I think that as a Muslim, it is obligatory for us to believe in the unseen things, even though we didn't see it with our own eye. So another thing about the acceptance, I'm gonna say that acceptance in the fact that you have to prioritize the people around you before it is too late, in the sense that Inspector Anwar really neglect her sister, his sister. I'm sorry, neglect his sister. That in the end of the scene, there was an event where he accidentally shot his sister, and he was being put in jail because of that. And because of that also, he tend to regret that he didn't spend most of the time with his sister. So I think that was another thing for this movie. Last but not least, for this video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about my final review on the movie Pusaka. So personally for me, I think the movie came out pretty well, and the movie came out pretty strong and intense, almost from the beginning until the end. And the sound effect and the cinematography, the settings really fell into place. Other than that, the mystic elements, the exorcism was very well portrayed by the actor and actress, and also the stunt action. You mean the witnesses hanging around, fly, are really well edited throughout the movie. The something interesting more about this movie is that within the horror setting, within the intense setting, there are also some humor included within the character of Hanif, if I'm not mistaken. But overall, it was a good movie. I'm gonna say it was a really good movie. If I was given a rating between 1 to 10, I'm gonna say about 8. Yeah. Because I'm gonna view I didn't agree with the ending a little bit, in the sense of the ending was quite confusing, because it didn't show it didn't show that the demon was demolished or not, because at the end of the scene it shows that the demon actually following Khalida, the cousin of Christina and Balkis. And also I wasn't agree with the ending, because Shafiq Kyle or Inspector Anwar uh was put in jail, because at the end of the scene, when he met his sister, he was actually being tied up. So I didn't agree on that, but overall it was a good movie. I think that's all from me. I really recommend it to watch this movie, and you can give the opinion yourself. So thank you for listening, and assalamualaikum.